Hello, everybody. I'm Michael Mehaffy with the Center for the Future of Places at KTH University in Stockholm. We've been working with UN Habitat for a number of years now, first with the Future of Places conference series with Project for Public Spaces and Action Johnson Foundation, getting language about public space into the new urban agenda. And then after doing that successfully, we established the Research Center here in Stockholm aimed at implementation and especially translating research into practice and policy. And the research is very clear that public space is an essential urban framework for so many of the good things that cities give us, including during times of stress like pandemics. And as Jean-Claude said, it may well be that without public space, you really don't have a city at all. And the research on urban resilience and public space is also compelling. For example, in the work of Eric Kleinenberg on disaster resilience and climate adaptation, in supporting the formation of social capital and other requirements of health and well-being. And so I think we can ask ourselves, what is the teachable moment of this period? What are the lessons that we can learn and take forward? And one of the things that we're learning is that it's not just density in the abstract that matters for things like pandemics, but the pattern of connectivity. For example, here are three very different morphologies at the exact same density. And as you see, very different patterns of contact and risk, much lower in the row house typology, much higher in the high rise typology with its central elevators and lobbies and exits and so on, and somewhere in between in the perimeter block typology. And with some forms of public space, it's possible to practice what I would call sociable distancing if we understand how public space needs to be structured in this complex way to keep us safe. Because public space not only needs to connect us, but to protect us, to exclude as well as to include, and to do that at a variety of scales, and to do that with varying levels of user control at different scales of space and time. And good quality public space also has to have room-like structures, similar to what happens in private space with rooms that have doors and windows that users can control. In good quality public space also, there are room-like spaces with edges and gateways and so on. Here are some inspiring examples that show some of these spaces. This is in Portland, Oregon, where the street has been reclaimed into these urban rooms that are quite wonderful spaces. And there's a number of these happening all over the world right now. Here are some parklets, as they're called, where parking spaces are taken over for safe outdoor dining. Again, little urban rooms and little igloos that are quite wonderful, heated and cooled, that keep people comfortable and safe. So we need to gather up these lessons and share them on open data platforms, which I think is going to be essential in being more adaptive and more resilient in the years ahead. Thanks.